Do you struggle to find the time to measure the impact of your work? Perhaps you're not even sure if you're impacting the right areas. Well, today we're going to look at the first step in overhauling your focus for an outsized impact. Driving marketing growth can be mysterious. I don't know it all, but I'm exploring to connect the data, inform decisions, and get results. Grow your marketing strategy and how you lead. Get data driven with Scott. So knowing your progress must start with knowing where you're at. Why? Because you can't improve what you don't measure, and you can't celebrate what you don't know. So at the beginning of 2022, off the back of a couple books I've been reading, I decided to do a habit overhaul. I wanted to improve how I spent my time, so I started keeping a log of every block of time in the day and how it was consumed. So was it extreme? Definitely. Was it sustainable? Definitely not. But I did use this pocket-sized time log, a little piece of paper I just put into my back pocket, kept with me, and I used it for the next few days. And then let it slide because it really wasn't sustainable. But it already had inflicted the damage that I intended. I was now so much more acutely aware of how each moment's decisions affected the next. To give an example, at the time of when I wrote the outline of this podcast, I was in the process of realigning my goals for the year. I noted in my tracking spreadsheet the task I was about to complete and what time I started it. So this did two things for me. It helped me to know where I'm putting my time and effort. And number two, simply by putting words to what I intended to do, actually helped to focus my attention incredibly. Now, I must admit, I am easily distracted, so it helped to hone in my focus on what I intended to actually do. So although this process is somewhat mundane, it enables you to see the actions you would have otherwise been doing subconsciously. So this had an immediate result in beginning to change my behavior simply because I was conscious of my actions. Now, I started feeling better about my choices because I could also see the immediate change. I find it the same with life and in teams. Unless you purposefully look at where you're at and where you're currently going, it's hard to gauge any type of progress. And progress can come in many different shapes and sizes. So it could be that a metric has shifted for the positive, which is great, or it may simply be that you need to change a process to become more like the team that you want to become. And to be honest, this may seem small and insignificant, but these are often the key changes you need to shift to become the type of team that you want to become. Taking purposeful actions in the direction of the identity that you want to become is a hugely powerful way to disprove the subconscious beliefs and doubt about yourself. I'm going to use the words of James Clear here, the author of Atomic Habits, because I really couldn't put it better. But every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your identity. This is why habits are crucial. They cast repeated votes for being a certain type of person. Now, I just love that quote. What's great about this is twofold. One, you can change your identity. It is possible. And two, this doesn't just work with the individual, but also for team identities at work. So at the end of a week or a month, do the votes go in favor of the type of team you want to become or against it? Let's say you want to be the type of team that is data-driven with your content writing and is using SEO to inform what the content looks like and how it should be shaped. But at the moment, it's the last part of the process and it's often forgotten. So in this case, you could see how you're casting more votes against being this type of team than for it. Now, this is just the first step of the process. It's really identifying what it is that you're doing today and how they're building up votes towards being a certain type of identity. Here's a couple actions for today. One is identify where you'd like to see change. e.g. it could be reporting consistency, it could be getting tasks completed, it could be getting tasks started. And number 2, do an audit. So this can be tedious, but hang in there, it is definitely worthwhile. I can attest to doing this a few times on different areas, and it really works well. So over the next 2-week period, keep a track of the activity in this area that you're wanting to work on. And number 3 is review after 2 weeks and note any change that occurred just by auditing the activity in and of itself. Now, as I said, this is the first step in the process, and in the next episode, I'm going to share 3 key tips that you can implement to change your behavior to become more like the data-driven team or data-driven individual that you want to become. All right, thanks everyone. Peace out.